Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you were Kevin Hart, I just have one question. What are you doing? Besides getting clowned by Cat Williams, accepting a challenge that you failed miserably at when you tried to clown Cat Williams and he ended up just proving the point. What are you doing? Y'all, if you don't know, Kevin Hart literally shook the table 2 weeks ago and pulled TashaK into a lawsuit with its ex-assistant. Now, don't get me wrong, whenever it happened, the internet was clowning TashaK, right? How could you be so stupid? Olga strikes again. Baby, you stand on business, but she sure don't like making money. Yeah, I was giggling at the jokes too. But the more the smoke clears, the more we're starting to see what is Kevin Hart doing? Is there any merit to his lawsuit with TashaK? You know, he just bought in TashaK's company, that he says is a shell company and blah 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 blah. And all I want to know if you got any legal stuff besides embarrassing TashaK, right? Besides saying, oh my God, she threatened to extort me. Baby, it sounds like you're the one that's trying to extort. It sounds like you're the one that's putting 20 on 10. It sounds like this case that Kevin bought against TashaK was nothing but an intimidation tactic because Kevin Hart seems, at least to me, based upon information and belief, blog articles in the street, to literally be a bit of a bully and vindictive. Because at the end of the day, what does Tasha's finances have to do with anything when you haven't even won an award? And second of all, where is this mystery person that actually bought in that allowed you to attach an extortion charge? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, when Kevin sued Tasha, a lot of people didn't understand, right? You cannot sue somebody for giving their opinion of you. Okay. Now, there are limits, but when you are a public figure as opposed to a private figure, it is a very high standard you have to reach. Tasha having Kevin's assistant on, that was Kevin's assistant's fault. Tasha even asked Kevin's assistant, do you have an NDA? Kevin's assistant told her in the interview, well, I do, but don't worry, it's not covered. TashaK took her at her word. Kevin then said, got Tasha with 3 charges. One of them was interference of contract, which is the NDA, but you can't really sue somebody for interference of contract when they were led to believe by one party of the contract that this did not interfere. Do you know what I'm saying? It needs to have something a little bit more. One cannot do, right? Because interference of contract is something that needs intent. There needs to be intent behind it for it actually to be a crime. TashaK, you can argue, did not have the intent because she was told that there was no interference of contract by a member of the contract, right? There was also something that he said about extortion. Now, here's the weird thing, right? When he said there was extortion in the lawsuit, he said that a male, well, a lot of people thought it was TashaK's old coworker assistant. I think her name is Kelsey. We don't know, right? However, it can't be her because in Kevin Hart's lawsuit, he said a male who worked for Kibi Studios or TashaK contacted him and was like, yo, you better give us the money or we're going to post this. And Kevin was like, I'm not giving you anything, right? He literally stood to his 3 apples tall self and said, you got another thing coming, right? But at the end of the day, he didn't name anyone. TashaK don't seem to be worried. You guys realize that if they cannot show any proof that anybody from TashaK's camp called them, and don't forget, they can have phone logs, they can have recordings, they can all that, and actually demanded money so that they not run a story. You realize that the extortion charge is all bogus. Now, before you say, why would Kevin Hart bring in a bogus extortion charge? I don't know. I do know that because why do people do anything? I do know that Kevin's best friend was sued by a woman because according to the woman, Kevin and his best friend put together a plot to unknowingly tape this woman, make a blank tape, leak the tape, and use that to catapult Kevin to bigger stardom. Mind you, I believe why this was going on. Kevin definitely had a girlfriend, and he might have even had a pregnant fiance, girlfriend, whatever, right? He had a girl. I think she might have been with the child, and he was still doing all this. When the girl found out that she was taped without her permission, right? She sued Kevin and the best friend. Kevin, people are saying, right? We don't know what actually happened, but Kevin then turned on his friend, said he didn't know anything about it. His friend magically broke into a hotel room. Like, I'm sorry, not even broke into the hotel room, forged his name, used his credit cards, did all stuff to get a hotel room, set up cameras in the hotel room that Kevin took the girl to. And then Kevin was like, no, that was him. And then accused his friend of extorting him. Now, spoiler alert, every single charge that stemmed from that with Kevin and his best friend, the charges got dropped against the best friend coming from Kevin's end. The girl, I think, ended up settling with them. And at the end of the day, Kevin was like, yo, they kind of made me do this. This messed up. I lost a friend of 15 years, and he moved on. Why is this important? Because at the end of the day, Kevin has, I guess you could say, a history now of literally getting involved in cases where he claims he was extorted, only to find out there was no truth to the matter. Do you know how rare it is for the FBI to drop all charges? And that they did. So let's get back to this mystery man with TashaK and asking and Forks. Now, I'm not saying it didn't happen because I don't have the evidence. Kevin does, and the lawyers, and Kevin maintains this is true. And who would make false claims and file false police reports and make all these false statements if they know something's not true? Right? Not Kevin Hart. Well, unless you listen to his best friend. So where's this mystery person that filed? What's their names? They're leaking everything else. They're leaking Kiwi Studios. They're leaking this. They're leaking that. Where's the person from TashaK's camp that actually contacted you? Because if this person can't be traced, if this person is all conjuncture, if this person is based upon information and belief, and you cannot prove where this person is, then that means that you do not have Tasha for any extortion charges, and you do not have her for interference of contract based off of what was actually said on tape. Y'all, but let's get into this a little bit more, because this is what really gets me and what I really honestly can't believe. Kevin Hart is now saying that TashaK is dodging financial liabilities with shell companies. What does this have to do with anything? You have not won a penny. Nothing has come up in court. What goes on in Tasha's bank account is between her husband, those shell companies, and Cardi B, admittedly. But Kevin, you don't have anything to do. So why are you even bringing this up? I get it. Cardi B shared this information with them. But again, from the outside looking in, it looks like Kevin is just kicking up dirt. But what can actually stick? You're accusing people of harassing you and extortion when at the end of the day, where's the harassment really coming from? Kevin wrote, you've already engaged in criminal conduct and torturous acts that would entitle Kevin to monetary damages against you should he elect to commence civil action regarding this matter. Commence. Here's the thing with Kevin. Are you just trying to bully TashaK to being quiet? Because at the end of the day, Kevin, you are vindictive. At least that's what his history shows. Kevin Hart has no mercy. So why would he cut TashaK a break? Oh, is she cease and desist? Okay. To the extent that you do not cease and desist now, your liability for such monetary damages will increase, as well as your exposure to criminal penalties. Now, Kevin submitted an amendment to the original suit, adding Yellen Entertainment LLC as a defendant. I'll say one thing, Tasha, why are you doing this? When you know you got Cardi working with you working against you to take you down. And I'm not saying she don't deserve it, because TashaK had her foot in Cardi B's neck. And one thing about those tables, they always seem to turn, but especially now, because Cardi is probably taking all the anger she should have to Offset and putting it on Cardi and putting it on TashaK. And you know what? TashaK did cause Cardi B a lot of mental strain, but it's weird that now she took her foot off and she's still going through it. It makes me think. Anyway, right? Kevin Hart alleges that Tasha K's husband, Chiekna, owns the company. They also believe it's responsible for content Tasha publishes. Hart claims that Yellen Entertainment is a successor entity to Kibi Studios, which Tasha K owned prior to her legal battle with Cardi B. And it was farmed in an attempt to evade financial liabilities. Again, you making big claims. And Tasha K actually had the money or lie. I would get a lawyer up and be like, baby, I'm going after you for making false statements. I formed this company as a corporate structure, not to evade financial liabilities. It's called tax planning. Anyway, they allege that both Yellen and Kibi were merely shell entities and shams of one another, through which Tasha carried out her business and entity names, and that at all times mentioned Tasha treated Kibi Studios and Yellen and used the assets of Kibi Studios and Yellen as her own personal property, and dominated, controlled, and operated Kibi Studios and Yellen to conceal her wrongful activities for her personal convenience and avoid obligations and liabilities, both monetary and non-monetary, owed to others. What do you listen? Everything Kevin just wrote in that paragraph his lawyer wrote might be true. My question is, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? What does that have to do with you, Kevin? Tasha K's money and pockets don't got nothing to do with you because you haven't even won an award. This is something you would bring up when you were trying to claim judgment, when you were trying to collect a judgment. You haven't even got that far. As a matter of fact, you haven't even proven the claims that you are setting out. Y'all, listen, I'm not saying Tasha's innocent. I am saying that Kevin, is this going to be the story of the boy that cried wolf? Or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.